The final update of the season just dropped. Act 3 is officially here to keep us hooked until the start of Season 3. The star of this update, without a doubt, is Overwatch. We already knew it was leaked for the Battle Pass, but it's getting even more attention than that. With the latest leaks the Fortnite devs have dropped lately, we can see a ton of clues hinting at those heroes who are ready to drop into the Golden Coast. In some shorts, we also catch a glimpse of map changes tied to this Overwatch collab. One of those is Shimada Temple, where I'm guessing Genji will appear as an NPC. You'll probably be able to get his mythic katana there, since word on the street is that we're getting a new mythic item tied to the Overwatch collaboration as well. Without a doubt, one of those will be Genji's katana, and likely Tracer's pulse pistols. I'm personally not sure if Epic will implement Tracer's iconic time-shifting mechanic, but I really hope they do. I can't remember any weapon in Fortnite quite like that before, so I hope that's the case, as it would really refresh the loot pool. There are also a ton of rumors about getting a Diva mech. That sounds awesome for sure, but I don't think it'll actually happen. What also has me thinking is the icon for Project Redacted in Act 3. It's a bomb, and I can't find any link there to Overwatch. It could be tied to Junkrat, since he's the one who loves everything explosive. But I doubt it since he isn't on the list of upcoming skins. A ton of rumors are pointing toward Dr. Sloan making her way back into the story with a plan to blow up the Voyager ship. That sounds great, but I don't think we're dealing with the Voyager just yet, not until the final act, the epilogue, which will conclude the story and lead us into Season 3. So, yeah, if you haven't been following the story lately, now is a great time to start as we move toward the climax of the season. We've seen a ton of theories from the community. Some say the Ice King and the Foundation might team up. Others suggest the Voyager will call the last reality to our island. All of that sounds awesome, but what really caught my eye is that, apparently, this update will bring some changes to the Ice King's palace. The very place where he keeps all his trophies and the frozen monster skull. As it turns out, there's a secret room hidden behind that block of ice. From these leaked videos, it's becoming clear that the Ice King has more skeletons in his closet than we thought. There might be a very important character for the plot or the final event hidden in this room, perhaps inside another icy prison. Or maybe it's even a direct teaser for Season 3. Yeah, as it turns out, the Ice King hasn't played all his cards yet. It's not clear yet if there's actually a prisoner in there or not. We'll find out for sure once the update drops. But what do you guys think? Who could be in there? Of course, if Season 3 is Marvel-themed, I'm definitely ruling out the idea that Null is in there. With all due respect to the Ice King, it's unlikely he'd have the power to literally imprison the King in Black in his castle. I was thinking it might be Dr. Doom. Maybe after his defeat in Chapter 5, he was somehow transported to a dimension where he crossed paths with the Ice King. Again, we can only really consider these theories if Season 3 is actually Marvel-related, which might just be the case. And if you watched my last lore video, I mentioned the Fortnite X Marvel, Zero War comic, where the Marvel heroes actually ended up in the Ice King's chambers. So it's very possible the next season could continue that comic's arc, but we'll circle back to that in a bit. Back to Overwatch. If that collab is the main focus, it makes perfect sense why Act 3 would wait until the following update. If you look at the image where the third part is censored, it seems to tie back to the Imagined Order, or at least Dr. Sloan, since that specific word is basically her description in the game. But like I said, that's probably for the next update, so let's look at what else is coming now. We've got the third wave of Invincible leaked. You might remember that last year, one of those skins was actually free. While I'm hoping they run that back, they'll most likely just add 1 or 2 new skins to the shop this weekend or next. We've also got another collab on the way with the Brain Rots. Yeah, they're doing a special event next week, and the last time they teased something like this, we got the Ballerina and Tun Sahur skins. So don't be surprised if we see a second wave of those very soon. On top of that, I've got the master list of leaks from that former employee. Since there aren't many rumors for this specific week, any of these could pop up at any moment. Sonic the Hedgehog, Kingdom Hearts, or even David Beckham, though Beckham feels more like a summer vibe for the World Cup. There's also Beyblade, and that massive leak about the boys, which everyone says is slated for the end of the season. Even though I don't think it's happening right now, I'm mentioning it just in case. So, Act 3 is looking really promising. Some creators already got to playtest the new items, like a gadget that saves you from dying in the storm. There are also leaks for a cardboard pistol, an ice crossbow, and a cannon shotgun. We might even see the Infinity Blade come back. They'll definitely be adding the final event files soon. And like I said, expect a massive finale to close out this story. Moving on to other modes, we have to look at OG. We're getting a Season 8 event very soon, but it's not going to be a carbon copy of the 2019 version. This time, it's going to involve the Dark Voyager's ship. Remember, that ship was already hovering over the vault at the start of the season, but it left when it couldn't find the fragment. It'll probably make a comeback once the 0 point gets reactivated. One thing you definitely need to keep in mind is that this is the final month where the Fortnite crew gives you 1,000 V-Bucks. Starting June 6th, they're nerfing that amount down to 800. In the middle of all this drama, with V-Buck prices going up on absolutely everything, kind of like gas prices lately, Fortnite is actually making one decent move. They're starting to drop the price of some skins from 2,000 V-Bucks down to 1,500. This probably won't affect the big collabs, but those old school Chapter 1 skins that were overpriced are finally getting a price cut. We already saw it happen with one skin this past weekend, so it's a start. Speaking of things making a comeback, the most interesting part of this update is that old Battle Pass skins could actually start reappearing as soon as May 2nd. This is the first concrete date we've had since the Marvel season wrapped up. Just a reminder, Epic told us that 18 months after a pass ends, those skins are fair game for the item shop. We might see the first ones drop this May, though honestly, I don't think it'll happen in the next 2 weeks since we haven't seen any shop-ready leaks just yet. Back in Chapter 5, Season 4, Doom arrived on the island with a clear goal. He wasn't just making an appearance, he was planting his flag. He used the energy from Pandora's box to merge parts of Latveria directly with the island. The season really focused on his rise to power as he upgraded his armor and pushed for total dominance, all while his army hunted down resources to boost his strength even further. It also proved that Doom is more than just a big bad, he's a force that actually reshapes the match. You had that rare scenario where the Isle of Doom replaced Loot Island, and capturing the Cauldron turned you into Doom's Chosen, giving you insane powers and a massive health pool. Both story-wise and gameplay-wise, he was treated as something way bigger than a standard bad guy. The most important part of the return theory is the ending itself. Doom wasn't wiped out permanently. The final fight turned into a huge worldwide battle, where his health was shared across every match. Plus, when he was defeated, he vanished through a rift. That leaves the door wide open. Usually, that's the clearest signal the devs can give that a character isn't done yet. Doom has a history in Fortnite that goes back a way. He was a part of the Marvel season a few years ago, back in 2020 during the Nexus War era, when the game built an entire season around Marvel heroes and a larger cosmic threat. That makes him an easy anchor for another big Marvel cycle because he is already connected to Fortnite's multiverse-style storytelling. So where's he at? The cleanest theory is that he's floating between realities. Rifts in Fortnite aren't just teleports. They can dump you into unstable, void spaces. But Doom has the tech and the magic to survive that. He's probably out there right now, just waiting for the right moment to lock onto his next target. Another possibility is that he found his way to a different reality, one containing a fragment of the 0 point. We know that after the Big Bang, 0 point shards were scattered across multiple universes. Given Doom's obsession with power, a shard is exactly the kind of thing he'd pursue, especially if he believes it's rightfully his. A third option is that he's already lurking nearby, just waiting for the right signal. Chapter 7 has really leaned into rift anomalies appearing during storms to shake up matches, which is the perfect lore tool for a dramatic entrance. If the Fortnite keeps ramping up these rift anomalies, someone who vanished into a rift can easily pop back out of one without needing a messy explanation. Now here's the kicker, the timing. This doesn't feel random at all. We know Marvel has Avengers Doomsday dropping in December 2026, with Robert Downey Jr. officially confirmed as Doom. And we all know Fortnite loves lining up its biggest collabs right when pop culture hype is at its peak. If you do the math on the seasons, Chapter 7 Season 1 started in late November. Based on typical season lengths, Season 3 should land somewhere around late summer or fall of 2026. That puts it right in the sweet spot when the marketing for Avengers will be going crazy. Even if the dates shift a little, the window is too close to be an accident. It feels intentional. There is also the practical business reason. Fortnite has been moving toward a model where more cosmetics and content can return later, which helps new or returning players catch up. That makes another big Marvel season easier to sell, because players who missed earlier Doom content can still be pulled into the theme without feeling locked out forever. Putting it all together, the most likely answer is simple. We're the ones who summon Doom back. Any real attempt to restore the 0 point creates a signal that ripples across realities. Doom is the kind of villain who would spot that energy spike instantly and use it to find us. By restarting the ultimate power source, we are effectively lighting a giant flare in the sky for every villain in the universe to see. And you know, Doom isn't going to ignore that. The only real question left is how he comes back. Maybe he rolls up solo, dead set on snatching the 0 point for himself. Or Epic might go all out and build another full Marvel season around him, bringing in symbiotes, heroes, villains, the whole 9 yards. But honestly, the ending of Absolute Doom already did the heavy lifting. It left Doom alive and lost in the multiverse. And in Fortnite, that usually means one thing: we haven't seen the last of him.